Albert. He doesn't want this information to get out. He doesn't. He doesn't want this information getting out. He doesn't. Here I am, and just when I was about to cut him some slack, saying that he was the best right-handed hitter of his generation, and this is what happens. YouTube tries to stop this information from getting out. That's how important it is. And like I said, I'll give in. Like, yeah, he was the best right-handed hitter of his generation. So why did he go to LA and then not? He played in one playoff series. Never won a playoff series. Okay, career earnings. God, I hate you so much, Albert Pujols. I swear to God. Yeah. So Albert Pujols is making $30 million this year. So back to what I was first saying. Imagine a team that actually is like, you know what, we can use the bat. We could just sign him to our own contract, but he's been designated for assignment. Let's go ahead and trade for Pujols. Let's give up something and then pay him $30 million. I don't understand the language behind designated for assignment. Like, I kind of explained that earlier, like the deadline and everything. But beyond that, why would you not just release him? Like, it has to be some sort of cost cutting measure where like they can like get money back or something, because wow, there's just no reason. Like, no one's going to trade for this guy. Like, no one's going to trade for this guy. Just release him. So that must just be like, there's some sort of relief that must come with designating a guy for assignment, or there isn't, and they're just wasting their time because like literally just cut the guy. Albert Pujols has made $339 million for his career. So that's something I want to ask you guys. It's just like yes, like I'm giving in. Like, he was so good as a right-handed hitter in St. Louis, the best, right? But he made $339 million. Like, what? Does he not get penalized for stealing? Like, at any point, does he not get like? And I have my one friend Tony would say, he's worth even more than that. He's worth even more than that. They're worth every cent they can get. Albert Pujols raped the freaking Los Angeles Angels over the coals for every last cent he was ever worth playing baseball on the face of this freaking earth. $339 million. Like, okay, $200 million by all means. Like, the biggest NBA superstars of their time, like Kevin Garnett. Like, I want to see how much he made compared to Kevin Garnett, because Kevin Garnett was always the guy that like made like the most in salary, because he was like the first guy to sign like that huge contract, and then he ended up signing another. So he had like two huge contracts. What? I always do this. I don't want your stats, Kevin Garnett. For the life of me, I do not care about your stats. 2004 MVP, won a ring with the Boston Celtics in 2008. Is it safe to say we get all that? Oh boy, KG is a monster. KG reeled in $334 million in salary, and this was before. I mean, he left the league in 16-17. This is before those super duper maxes. I can't even fathom to think what some of these guys who are coming to the league now, the NBA, what they're going to retire with having made in salary. Like, that's going to be intense. But yeah. So, and that's my thing. Okay. It's perfect. He's not even a baseball player, and this is perfect. Kevin Garnett, it was the big ticket in Minnesota, except what was the big thing? He couldn't win. So he went to the Celtics in year one, won a championship, right? Okay. Well, Albert Pujols won the World Series in St. Louis. So what was he concerned about? Just taking the money, compiling on the West Coast. That's what he wanted to do. I can't understand, like his legacy would be I wouldn't be literally, as an actual like local sports writer, I wouldn't be allowed to make this video had he stayed with the Cardinals. Like, this would be considered blasphemous. Like, I'd be going against code talking about Albert Pujols in this way. But that's the thing. He opened himself up for all of the criticism by choosing to take the money, go to the Angels, play with the best player in all of baseball, while some considered him the best player. How do you go from being, and now this is my final argument. How do you go from being the best player in baseball to your teammates with the best player in baseball while you're still arguably one of, if not the best player in baseball? So you got the two biggest players and best players in baseball, and you've never won a postseason series. Where do we punish? Wait, where does he wasn't punished because like am I supposed to feel bad for him that he's making $30 million to go away this year? Where do we punish this guy? I want justice. I want justice. He on top of it all, and I've had people, oh well, he batted a career 298. He was well above a career 300 hitter. Well above. It's only because he decided to hang on and compile and go for home runs that his career average is now dipped below 300. His career average being below 300 is the most damning thing. It's one of the most damning things. You're talking about the best right-handed hitter of the 2000s and he didn't even bat 300. I mean, it's almost like he's not even from his own era. I'd believe it now. If you told me the best right-handed hitter of this day and age doesn't bat over 300, I'd say, well, yeah, because all guys do is strike out and swing for the fences. But in an age where guys were just so juiced out, I mean, Barry Bonds is out here hitting like 370. The fact that the Albert Pujols ended up hitting below 300 for his career, it's not like, oh, let's give this guy an applause. He hit 298. No, that's a disgrace. What he was hitting like 325 or something crazy for the Cardinals. He had a pretty big cushion for himself to remain a career 300 hitter. I bet you if he had just hit 275 for 10 years on the literally, if he hits 270, if he was a 325 hitter in 10 seasons or 11 seasons with the Cardinals, all you have to do is hit 275, which is no small task. But again, when you're Albert Pujols, like, why are we like lowering the expectations from? Well, he had some pretty Brad Miller like numbers. I don't care. He had Mike Trout in front of him. He was on base every time. Him hitting 100 RBI should have been given the amount that he was making in salary, and given that Mike Trout was in front of him reaching 100 RBI should have been a foregone conclusion. Every year that he didn't reach 100 RBIs is just a strike against his record. And the fact that he couldn't hit 275, the fact that he bit so poorly at times that he fell below a career 300 hitter, damn him. For what that's something that Cardinals fans should be able to hold on to. Something that Angels fans should be able to hold on to. Yeah, we watched this guy suck comparatively for 10 years, but at least he was still a career 300 hitter. We got to see one of the best that ever lived. No, you didn't. You got to see some idiot named Albert Pujols suck for 10 years. Again, comparatively, because, he put up a couple Brad Miller-esque seasons. Like, I'm telling you right now, if Brad Miller had Mike Trout in front of him, he could have put up the same numbers. I'm telling you. We're supposed to be impressed that Albert Pujols, in an age where, again, Brad Miller's hitting 30 home runs in a season, I'm supposed to be impressed that Albert Pujols was hitting 30 home runs and driving in 100 RBIs with Mike Trout in front of him. He was a 2-time World Series champion. I think that's the thing, too. It's like, I'm pretty sure he won a ring and then walked. Like, what an idiot. Well, you guys want to talk about cupcake moves? Like, Kevin Durant was trying to get a ring, his first ring. He didn't have one. Pujols had 2. That's like Jordan leaving the Bulls in 93. He's like, yeah, we could go for a 3-peat, but Supersonics have Gary Payton. I'm going to see you. My God. Yeah. So he literally won the championship in 2011 and then walked. Yeah, Fielding Bible Award. So he did have a glove. I knew he had a glove early on. Honestly, he's probably disappointed us because he's out Pujols, but whatever. Like, no disrespect to Detroit, but Kobe Bryant is the closest thing to Michael Jordan will ever have. No offense to LeBron. LeBron's just like a different style player. If you think for a second, this is why was so funny. If you think for a second that Kobe Bryant was 9-time all defensive first team, all defensive, Kobe Bryant, you're smoking drugs. And that's what bums me out. I mean, he was really good. I mean, he was an complete player, but 9-time defensive first team. There must have been some serious schmoes that were playing shooting guard back then, because my God. Yeah, that's all. I can't go any further. YouTube tried to YouTube tried to keep this under wraps. They tried to silence me, and I wouldn't be silenced. So for those that are just tuning in, go ahead, watch part 1. It cuts off, but I made sure to pick up right where I left off. So then hop on to part 2. Hopefully this is the last time, except for you guys can guarantee it. When Albert signs with a new team, I will be back to lambast it. Or maybe not. Maybe, depending on the signing, it might be a good thing. You never know. But you know what wasn't a good thing? Albert Pujols being a World Series champion, the best right-handed hitter in baseball, and then taking $250 million to go protect Mike Trout and win a ring, except he didn't. The championship pedigree, he left in St. Louis. His ability to hit for average, he left in St. Louis. And his ability to drive in runs, really, he left in St. Louis. Because how are you driving in like 140 runs with Jim Edmonds in front of you, but you can't get it done with Mike Trout? All right. I love you guys very much. Thank you for tuning in. Like I said, go back, watch the videos. Well, shoot, I've never had this many people on a live stream in my life, and I'm about to cut it off. My God, we're partying in here today. I love it, you guys. Thank you for joining. Again, like I said, part 1 is up. Watch part 1. Segues perfectly into part 2. YouTube tried to silence me, but I'm, like I said, for the 4th time, I am a local sports writer, and this is the one thing I actually wanted my authority to be heard on, to get my opinion out there. And I really appreciate you guys joining in today. I love you guys dearly. I'll catch you on the next one. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you when I see you.